Yo guys, let's take a look at Kaspa's chart right now. So it's experiencing a bit of a downtrend, but this is a healthy retest. Consolidation is happening. So we check out across multiple indicators, and it has been pointing and hinting toward this retest for since last week. I mentioned to my Discord, I have a Patreon, I have a YouTube subscription you can subscribe to if you'd like to get the latest, calls with alpha. I did give a warning last week about this potential downtrend that the indicators were hinting toward. What does this mean? Where can Kaspa go? It could definitely very healthily reach down to a 9-cent range, low nines, 9.5 cents, 8.5 cents even. I really want it to hold at that level. This is going to be an important level to hold, but we're going to have to see because there's still lots of room for these indicators to go down. So what's up with the rest of the market? Let's take a look. So we look at Ethereum even, and this is something I also said to my Patreon, those in my Discord, experiencing 100-day resistance, macro resistance from Ethereum to Solana to across the altcoins. Now this resistance had to be broken for a continuation of this bullish macro pump. Now it did not get broken. We're going to have to retest. It's not a problem. So here's the 100-day moving average, again with Solana. So where can it go from here? Again, it's somewhere around the halfway point. I mean, we're going to have to take a look at the macro indicators. What are they going to say? Where can it go down to? So we're going to have to take a look, and especially in the coming week or two, see where the rest of the crypto wants to go. And this isn't just for Kaspa and the altcoins, but it's also for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin definitely has a little room to fall. Why do I think Bitcoin is going to fall and actually retest a certain level? So we're seeing a bit of a top happening across its macro indicators. And it's even more clear when you look on like the 3-day chart, for example. Again, we see this weakness happening with its macro indicators, and it's not something you could just simply ignore. So it's healthy. It's healthy. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Bitcoin retouch and retest this 100K level. Very understandable, very reasonable. Not to be afraid at all. So if you're, holding your bags, keep holding. If you're trying to, leverage with a buying a long or something like that, I highly don't recommend that. This is not an opportune time to do that because we are in the middle of a consolidation, redistribution. This is a retest, a macro retest. So what's up with gold? Gold's been doing, very well, but still, I said for a while now, it's been showing a bit of a peak on a macro time frame and consolidate. While it consolidates, this is going to be a lot of buying power for crypto. And the dollar, it's not doing so hot. It's still at this macro average in a way down here, and it's going to be there for a while. Again, with the stock market as well. Stock market is at very much a high, and it definitely can see a pullback as well. So this is something we're gonna have to weather down, hunker in and prepare for a little bit of a dip. But this is something that you could definitely use to your opportunity if you're looking to buy some extra, extra Kaspa, extra crypto. This is going to be an opportunity to do so. If you want some buy alerts, some sell alerts, some warnings, something like that. Again, take a look at my Patreon, my YouTube. I have a subscription. You can join that and see if you like it and stay. If you don't, then not any issue. So here's the total market cap of excluding Bitcoin. And again, it's turning into a macro resistance, but also an uptrend and macro uptrend. We need to break this level in order to see this bullish pump. But in order to do so, it needs some time to consolidate. These moving averages are going to be converging upward, and as they do, we could see the price hovering around. You drop down and hover around this range for some time, a few weeks, could take a month. But when it does so, that's going to be the bullish blast off. Again, here was the full bottom, and now we're in the macro uptrend. So this is going to need some time, and once it does blast off, there's no going back. So do I believe it can go up from here? Again, it's going to need to break this resistance level, and I don't see it happening exactly right now, especially with these macro indicators pointing down. So it's just a bit of a waiting game. Wait for this little bit of a pullback, or may consolidate here for some more time. After this consolidation, that we're going to have that chance for an absolute breakout. And once it breaks out, it's gone. Again, let me just show back over here for what it did. So here, again, it was consolidating and kept on pushing upward. So if we see this movement continuing to push upward, that's going to be very bullish. And it could make these macro indicators flatline instead of continuing like this downward starting like a sell pressure. We could see this MACD flatline a little more. We could see these macro indicators flatline, and they could come downward as the price consolidates, and that's going to be an extremely bullish setup. So that's something else to look out for. So here we are with Ethereum. Again, these indicators, these RSI, they're really up there. When they pull back down here, it's going to be a much better opportunity to add to your portfolio when you're if you're looking to do so. We're in the macro uptrend. I really do believe the bull run has already started. This was the bottom. If you need any more convincing that was the bottom, that we're going to not see it, it's not going to touch back down at that bottom. So this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, basically the altcoins. And here we see the macro moving average is moving up. So if it even does want to retest down to here, which is, asking for a lot, it's not going to go as low, in my opinion. It certainly could have another macro retest, a double bottom, but I don't believe that's going to be the case. Again, we see down here, it did have a double bottom. Here, the bottom was higher. Why? Because the average is moving up. So it's not like it's out of the ballpark. It's not going to, there's nothing, nothing's out of the ballpark. Anything could happen in crypto with all this extreme volatility. But it's also very good to see that with respect to gold, that crypto and especially these altcoins are very undervalued and the trend is moving up. Do I think Kaspa is going to instantly drop down? No, I don't think it's going to instantly drop down. Just like I mentioned like last week, it was like at this similar price and then it stayed at the similar price for quite some time. It takes time. Okay, so there could definitely be a spike up where it could hit this daily Bollinger and spike back up to the middle and then come back down again. It's a volatile market. These are volatile assets because, well, they're not so highly priced, and that's just the nature of crypto. It's volatile. So who takes advantage of this volatility? Well, exchanges are certainly one of them. Big money markets. They are the things that move crypto prices, not retail. So here's Kaspa again. The weekly chart does show some signs of topping out pattern. The buy pressure was just slowing down up here. And these are all things I cover. We give alerts, for my Discord, my Patreon, YouTube subscription. So definitely take a look at that if you really want to, level up your game with more timely updates from me. I'm worried about it, not worried about it at all. It's going to have to retest. Again, this 9.5 cent range, I would love for that to hold, but it can go down to this 8.5 cent range as well. It has great support. Not only on the macro, it's deep moving averages. It sees a support with its previous local highs and lows. So this is going to be a support range that we would definitely like to see Kaspa hold, especially as this mid-moving average starts to flatline and creates a floor for Kaspa to launch off of, especially in the coming months. So definitely looking good for Kaspa, and you shouldn't be worried about this retest that's going to likely happen in the coming days and weeks. So how much time is it going to take? I think it's going to be approximately 2 weeks. That's what the market indicators are hinting toward, but we'll see, especially once it drops back down. If it wants to retest or continue to consolidate, it can absolutely bounce back very fast because there's very strong support. Here we are looking at Solana on the weekly, and again, it's RSI, it's macro indicators. They're a little bit overbought. Comes back down here, flatlines a little bit, and then boom, it creates a floor. It creates a solid foundation for a bullish pump, especially with altcoin season looking primed, with its macro indicators looking very, very good. This is going to be an opportunity for you to make a lot of profit this coming bull run, especially by moving Bitcoin into Kaspa. Likewise, Kaspa into Kaspa meme coins. These are ways to leverage money and optimize your profit and portfolio for the coming bull market cycle.